The Baby in Yellow is by far one of the strangest mascot horror games I have ever played. I've dealt with killer animatronics, evil toys, and even a spider train. How bad could a baby possibly be? Oh yeah. The Baby in Yellow was developed by Team Terrible and originally released in 2020 as part of a game jam before it got a full release on itch.io in 2021 and later on Steam in 2023. The game starts out with us getting called to babysit a child in a nearby apartment complex. It seems simple enough. How hard could it be to, oh my god, what is wrong with that baby? I could see why this is a horror game because that thing is scary. His eyes and smile are just so creepy, and the way he's just always staring at you is just so... The babysitting section ended up being my favorite part of the game because we're given this entire apartment to explore, costumes to dress the baby in, and a ton of items to play with. It was honestly just good chaotic fun. The only real objective in this section is to feed the baby, change its diapers, and read it a story before bed. You know, actually taking care of it. Pretty standard stuff. Except when things decide to get spooky. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't find anything that happened scary at all. It's really hard to be scared of this baby when 5 minutes ago I got an achievement for using him as a basketball. I promise it's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Things go south on the third night when the baby attacks us and traps our soul in one of its toys. Although looking back, I probably deserved it for some of the stuff I did. We then start playing as a new sitter to replace the previous one we were playing as, but once we see the baby doing whatever this is, we do the sensible thing and turn around to leave. However, the baby doesn't want us to leave quite yet and traps us in the apartment building, and it's up to us to solve puzzles and find a way out. Wait a minute, first this was a goofy sandbox game with some scary elements, and now I'm playing a puzzle game? Bit of a tonal shift, but alright. The baby is also all over the place. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be afraid of him or think his antics are funny. One minute he's a horrible demon chasing me, and the next minute he's teleporting around the apartment with the key I need laughing at me. Kinda makes it hard to be scared of him when one of the puzzle solutions involves me throwing him down an air duct. Again, I swear it's not nearly as bad as it sounds. After we finish the puzzles, the baby turns into a demon and we have several chase scenes in a row where we need to find keys and identify the correct door from symbols in the hallway before we're attacked. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I hate chase scenes. I just don't find it fun to navigate a maze or solve puzzles with the threat of death looming over my shoulder every time. And it's even more frustrating when I die and have to replay the entire section over again because it kills all the pacing that's been built up, and it feels more like an annoying objective than me running from a threat. We eventually find ourselves back in the apartment from the beginning with the same objectives to take care of the baby, but considering he spent the last 30 minutes trying to kill me, I decided to completely ignore him and explore the apartment instead. I was able to escape, but the baby was very upset with me and kept asking me to put it to bed, but I still wasn't in the mood to help this demon out, so Okay, looking back, this does look pretty bad, but this is honestly how you get the good ending. After we defeat the baby, he lets us go, claiming that there's always more people he can play with. And then we start the game over again as a new babysitter. Only this time, we follow a black cat to another world that contains a steampunk workshop? Wait, hold on a second. First I'm in an apartment playing a silly sandbox game with a baby, then I'm running for my life from a demon, and now I'm collecting magical elements to brew potions? Look, I'm all for variety in games, but this one feels all over the place. The entire alchemy section feels like the developers were making a completely different game, and then threw the baby in at the last second. We also find this robot companion who I thought was going to replace the baby, but he really doesn't do anything outside of open a couple doors and some basic tasks. We actually use the baby to solve more puzzles than the robot because the potions we brew are to give him new abilities. So are we friends with the baby now? Apparently not, because he goes back to attacking us 5 minutes later. And then the entire thing ends with us having one final chase before we stop the baby and open the final door, which releases an army of babies? Because sure, why not? Honestly, the entire second half of this game had me extremely disappointed. The game never focuses on any one idea and felt all over the place. The shift between silly and horror happened so frequently that I ended up not feeling anything while playing. The game does explore a ton of different ideas, but they're all over the place and they seem so disjointed from each other. The worst part is, I actually really liked the laboratory section. I thought the robot was cool, the ingredients and potions are fun to discover and play with, The only issue I had was with the baby. He was funny in the first half of the game, but I would have much rather played an alchemist with a robot sidekick than deal with this stupid baby again. And with a promise of even more to come, I can only assume it's going to be an entirely new setting with new mechanics, and while I do appreciate the variety, I just wish everything fit together and didn't feel like a bunch of random ideas stuck together to see what would happen. If you're looking for a proper horror game, I'd honestly look somewhere else. If you're looking for a lighthearted game to kill a couple hours, there's worse that you could pick, but honestly, unless you're dying to see what this game has to offer, there's really not much to recommend. But what do you guys think? Do you absolutely love this game? Or is it another forgettable indie horror game? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!